The views and opinions expressed on any program are those of the persons appearing on the program and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of the New Media Factory. Some programs on this network might include strong images and language and may not be suitable for all audiences. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hi, good evening. It's June 18th, and you know what that means? It's Rizal's birthday tomorrow. June 19th. Jose Rizal, our national hero. And I know this because my mom's birthday is on June 19th. So,
Ka-birthday niya si
Rizal. That's why her real name is Rizalina. Yes.
What's her nickname?
It's really far, greedy. Anyway. In the spirit of Rizal's birthday, we have decided to do a history episode, Philippine history episode. And for that, why don't we start off by talking about things that people have said about the country?
Good or bad?
Any.
Okay. So things famous people have said about the Philippines.
Of late, there was the Justin Bieber thing.
Yeah. But he didn't really say it, he just tweeted.
Instagrammed
He Instagrammed that shiz.
Of course, we know that this made news in the House of Representatives because they nag-file ba, or they just
Expressed their
I think they just
Desire.
expressed it.
Yeah. They expressed their desire to have a...
persona non grata.
Yeah, I was so outraged. I was like, wala na mga ibang bill na pwedeng isulat? Bakit
Tayong panahon,
yun?
guys.
For those who missed it, basically parang minock niya yung pagkabagsak ni Manny Pacquiao on his face.
Right, because he
Because
lost
he's friends with
the opponent.
the opponent.
Oh, I didn't know that part.
sorry.
Yes,
Okay.
he's a friend,
Okay.
supporter, a high roller. No. And then, yeah, some people got mad. Siyempre, here on Twitter, binugbog nung fans ni Pacquiao.
Sobra. It was trending, I remember.
Yes. And then, yun na nga yung pinaka-major reaction, the persona non grata
grata.
idea.
Kasi, I remember the believers, yung mga fans ni Justin, would fight with Filipinos. And it became a trending topic for like hours.
Yeah.
And once you say something negative about Pacquiao, you say something negative against the whole country.
Country,
Because
right.
he is our modern day hero, one of our modern day heroes.
Ang galing na connect mo yun. Hero.
Rizal.
Rizal, hero.
June 18th.
But the most recent controversial comment about...
Brown?
Yes, the Dan
Okay.
Brown one.
Galing na rin How did you know?
No,
Oh my
yeah.
gosh, it's so in the know.
Updated.
The controversial gates of hell
Yeah.
phrase na hindi naman nag-trending pero it really got a lot of people upset.
Yes.
A lot of reactions.
In his book, The Inferno, he described... I haven't read it also.
I think we wrote the Secretary of Tourism, the Department of Tourism, even wrote a letter. I'm not sure if, so don't quote.
I know that MMDA
Sorry, it was
chair
MMDA
wrote.
chair.
But then, I think
Sorry.
there was a letter where they said, Manila's the gates to heaven. Sorry, which I think is a bigger lie than gates to hell.
So yeah, they wrote a letter and then of course, no reply yet. But everyone has mixed reactions on this one. Like, personally, I'm on the side of yung chill lang kayo. Hindi
chill
naman
lang.
fiction.
Yeah.
At saka, kahit paano may katotohanan naman yung mga...
Tama.
Yung, kumbaga, the impression, not as bad, grabe yung hell, but then, again, fiction, parang literary, what's the term?
Wow.
Literary freedom of expression.
Yes,
Parang ganun.
exactly.
Poetic justice.
Actually, the funniest tweet I saw on that was, uy, di naman 6-hour traffic jams dito, 3 hours lang.
Kinorek pa.
No, I guess for me, instead of focusing on making these people persona non grata, or
Wait, Dan Brown is
Also, yes,
yeah,
they
he's
discussed
also a
it.
persona
They
non
discussed
grata.
it.
That's our favorite reaction
Oh,
or solution.
they said something bad.
Yeah, like
Let's write a bill.
Gloria Diaz in Cebu, di ba? Persona non grata din siya.
Really?
Yes, how can you not remember this? Okay,
I
this
remember
is
the
during
issue.
Venus Ra, major answer. And she just said something like, they should be comfortable to speak in their own language. Parang
Yes.
ganun. But came out the wrong way, parang
Because she made a comment about the accent of Cebuanos, I think.
Something. So
Yeah.
it's
Persona non grata
Persona non
also.
grata.
Yun ang trending topic
Yeah,
sa
for me,
Congress.
instead of expanding effort on making these people persona non grata, why don't we ask ourselves, why do these people say these things? And try to,
Exactly.
right? Like, let's focus on the solutions. What do you think, Shelly?
I agree. Wow, ang haba ng comment ko. I agree. Oo, bawas sabi nga ni B. Chill. Diba?
Chill lang. And also, a lot of people who have read the book, I haven't read it, Dan Brown's book, they said na if you don't read it, you'll get offended. But if you read it and you see the bigger picture of
The
the book,
context of
hindi
the
mo naman,
story.
hindi ka magagalit. So,
And to his credit, because of the hullabaloo, his book is actually selling even more.
Exactly.
Oh.
So parang any kind of bad publicity is
Yeah.
still good.
Just like the Lady
Yeah.
Gaga concert, diba? So many people trying to stop it so much so that both nights were sold out. So parang, yeah. Again, chill.
Ang ganda.
Pwede ka na mag-charade.
Wait, yeah,
Now, while preparing for this episode, we were thinking about if we could sit down with a character in Philippine history, who would it be and what would we say?
Yeah.
But then to give it a more modern kick, we decided to do a top 5 tweets that we would tweet those people.
Yeah.
So, let's start with...
Ito, ranging to from as in, unang panahon to kahapon lang. Yan ang level ng
Yeah.
Throwback Thursday. Natin.
Okay, Tuesday. Okay.
Okay.
Yun.
Ay,
Lynn, who did you tweet?
Oh, sorry. Okay, so my tweet is to, Pedro Paterno. So my tweet is at Pete Paterno. Balimbing much. So,
So, who is Pete Paterno?
Oh, I can't believe you guys don't know Pedro Paterno. So Pedro Paterno is actually he's famous for being the first balimbing in Philippine history. As in, he's like
Ito
the
naman,
most...
pinagdaunan yung mental health.
Bakit?
Kung balimbing talaga siya, as in?
Wait, so
I'll explain why. Okay, so
Do pray tell.
Alas.
during the Spanish regime, he sided with the Spaniards, and then he managed to make himself like part of the Malolos government. I think he was the president of the Malolos government. And then when it was the U.S. regime naman, like he managed also to be part of the first Philippine Assembly.
Okay.
So that's why he's infamous. He actually writes well, but then
Okay.
a lot of people don't focus, or a lot of historians say that because he was balimbing, and they think that term was coined because of him. It overshadowed all his greatest work. So he's actually, he's infamous more than he is famous.
Ang deep na tweet mo.
I know!
I'm super looking him up.
Okay, me also.
Yes, Google
Who is
him.
this?
Pedro
Okay.
Paterno.
Madaming modern day Pedro Paterno.
Exactly.
Okay.
True. Oh, this is me.
This is the
Sexy.
Yamash.
Sexy. Sino yung nasa
Grabe ang
cover?
hot.
Oh, thank you so much.
Guys, get a copy of Rogue State of the Nation out this month.
Hey,
Okay, don't...
speaking of national
That's why.
issues.
So Bianca's interviewed there. Wow! And
Pilap-pilap.
so she talks about different national issues. So yun.
Love it.
Since nandiyan na naman yung kanyang
Gumanon ka ulit.
photo.
Thank you, Karen Davila. Okay, yeah, so my tweet was simply to, syempre growing up there, all these mga kwentong barbero about history. And then, basically, may movie pa nga to, di ba?
Yes.
I just want to tweet at Yamashita, yung totoo, nasa na, as in the goal. That's it. It's something very simple. Na parang something I want to know kung totoo ba talaga that there was. Is there? Maybe we can ask our guest later. If it's true.
Yung
What's up with
treasure
this?
na yan.
Is there really, if that exists?
Okay. Next.
Oh! I don't think I need to explain this, do I? I retweeted someone who retweeted something several times.
At Tito Soto.
At Tito Soto.
Ano yung sa'yo? Hindi ko nabasa.
Inarty ko yung inarty ni Tito Soto.
Kasi mahilig siya mag-Soto copy.
This blew up around the time of Corona, no?
Yes.
Yes.
Trial of Corona, of Chief Justice Corona, when
Ex-Chief Justice.
a lot of his ex-justice, ex-Chief Justice Corona, during the trial, so I think a lot of us know about Tito Soto having plagiarized several of his speeches, and
Which he still refuses, I think.
And there
My
were
favorite.
which she still denies.
And there were a lot of finger pointing, except ganyan.
Sabi nga nila,
the
diba?
cell.
For every finger you point,
Ganyan
three.
siya mag-point.
Actually, 3.
I was gonna say 4, pero parang...
Yeah, yung isa dito so 3. Unless
Mali yung saying.
If we were to go back to our topic dun sa kung ano yung mga sinabi na against the Philippines or against the Filipinos, I would think it's one of the more bigat nito ones.
Yeah.
Would be when
RFA, I think the daughter.
Caroline?
What did she say? Do you
Caroline.
remember what she said?
she just answered na parang it was in bad taste and
Correct.
that she feels it was used out of context because it was used nga to support his being anti-RH,
Right.
but it's actually, syempre, she's pro-RH. So
Yeah, so the daughter felt that she used her father's words even against what her father believed in.
Yeah, okay, I remember.
So interesting that this is your tweet because our very, 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 very special guest for today actually tweeted something related to this. Recently said, think about it, Soto just sotified Enrile. And he replied. Tito Soto replied. Okay, we'll ask him about
Okay, we'll ask him about that
So
later.
excited for her special guest.
We're super always preempting. We're so excited to have these special guests with us.
Yeah,
Okay.
special.
Next. This one is mine. It's at CBCP 2013 na po.
I love that.
Pa-check lang.
Yun lang. Because it's just, every time they make a statement, I cannot believe that the date above the article says 2013,
Yeah.
and we're still saying the same thing.
What's the latest one? They have
The latest one is on Charisse.
What did they
And
say? That's right.
okay, to be fair, they said let's support her. But then she said, but then the spokesperson said because she's undergoing an identity crisis.
Yeah. This is about her being lesbian.
Nakakaloka. Yes. Identity
2013
crisis.
na.
Wait, 2013
If I
na.
saw this, I'd totally retweet it Tapos I'll put gising-gising pag may time. Kape-kape pag may time.
Diba? And then, basta they've said so many things. Of course, there was a lot of talk about the RH. Pero every issue na lang, meron silang statement na parang, seryoso ba to?
They really need to be media trained.
Yeah. And they need to update their calendars as well. And our top 5 tweet that we would tweet to a person.
Picture. Okay.
And then, okay. So, meron yan. Okay, sige, basahin mo.
Kulang yung tweet ko.
Hindi lang.
Okay.
Okay, go.
At Imelda. Madam. May madam yan eh. Madam, size 8 po ako.
Tapos, may
Oo.
pic Twitter. So, pag i-click mo yung link, ang lalabas.
Wow! Yung pinapadala dun sa Hong Kong ng bata ka.
Oh my God! Oh, or sa US.
Ginagawa namin yan!
Yung kaya yung letter kay Santa, di ba? Unang Sabado, tapos may drawing ng paa mo.
Di ba there's news recently about parang all her shoes? Yung
So
iba parang naulanan
Yeah,
na
nag-rot.
Sayang I actually don't know, maybe our special guest knows how many pairs of shoes she actually has. But for everything that she was, ang dami din yung, like we said, Tina, bad image tayo ngayon to
Yeah.
She brought a lot of parang good comments, reactions to the country during that time. Kasi nga she's also all about
arts,
beauty
culture.
and art, and she's even quoted in so many fashion
Yes.
books. And
she has a word dedicated to herself. Emeldific. And I've seen it in books, like when I was still reading Princess Diaries. It showed up there.
Yeah.
But actually, our special guest has a tour on Imelda,
Yeah.
which I have been to.
Me also.
I've been to the Intramuros.
Yeah.
You've also been to the Imelda.
I've been to both.
only to the
Fan
Intramuros.
pala.
I've been to the Binondo one also. Mas fan ako.
May great talaga tong show na to eh.
Wait, what happened during your tour? Please share.
Ganon, surprise sharing. I asked for a hug. Sobrang naiyak ako nung patapos na.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So our special guest is here. Oo, sobrang naiyak kasi iniisip ko lang na who still bothers to tell all these. Sabi ko lang sa inyo, emotional ako today. Bakit kayo ganyan? Yun,
Yeah,
who still bother
bothers?
really to tell these things with so much love? Parang yung, ba, building a nation. So, trying to relive all these stories and make us understand where we came from, what our history tells about us, and just make
Naiiyak din ako.
have a sense. Kasi naman, sa dinami-dami na nga nang sumakop sa atin, maraming nawawala. So for someone to still be actively doing that and making devoting his life to it, it's just work of love.
And then,
Amazing.
so you asked him for a hug, and
Yeah, he gave me a hug.
yes, of course.
And I was messaging all of them. Should I ask him for a hug?
And then I remember you sent us by his photo. And then he's like, I wanna hug him. I'm like, go do it! Sabi niya, "Jahe, no, go do it! And with that, okay, we're gonna take a quick break. I think we built up our special guest enough to get
Very
you
well.
excited. So we're gonna take a quick break and come back with Mr. Carlos Celdran.
I don't know if you guys are familiar with the game Chubby Bunny, but
What's like?
have you played Chubby Bunny before?
No?
You put a marshmallow in your mouth, you say Chubby Bunny, and you keep putting it in your mouth, and you
Okay.
keep saying Chubby Bunny.
Okay,
Whoever
let's do
can
it.
fit the most in their mouth wins. But we're not gonna say Chubby Bunny. We're gonna have a conversation.
Okay.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna ask you, okay ka na ba?
Okay.
And you're gonna be like, okay na.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 at a time.
Okay, we're gonna do this time. Okay ka na ba? What?
Okay na. I'm just sorry.
Okay ka na ba?
Okay na.
Okay ka na ba?
Okay na.
I want? Okay. No, not this question. Then the maid got jaundice. Jaundice is different from jaundice. Jaundice is buntis, like that. But she does not. Tears up. Tears up. Anyway, jaundice does not know. This is professional show. I will put the merienda here. So jaundice, and I'm now happy to present to you Carlo tayo. Halika dito, te. Tabi tayo. Gusto mo ng snacks? Ano ba to? Ganyan ba yan? Tapos,
Ang puti, mama.
ay, tapos, dito ba pwede ba dyan?
Pwede. Concealer. Yan, para sa show mo ha, oh.
Aray ko, amayaya ba? Pwede ba itong ano? Zora, pang ano ba to? Oil absorbing? Pwede ba itong pang nose line?
Tita Kay, may caution.
Caution! Caution! Basta ng glamour, te!
When used for the first 2 weeks, more pimples will appear. Burahin na siya. Sorry, ma'am. Ito talaga?
Hindi, bago yan. Don't worry.
Buti ako sa mata lang. Hindi naman nagkakat yun. Dapat pala caution muna yung pinasa natin.
Join your host Carrots Nazareno on Live Love Lols every Thursday, 7:30 to 8:30, only here on The Factory.
Take a little sunshine, drop a little rainbow, mix in a smile, and stay for a while. Sabrina's kitchen, what you waiting for? Sabrina's kitchen, always room for one more. Sabrina's kitchen, cooking up a storm. Sabrina's kitchen, always something new. Sabrina's kitchen, tables waiting for you.
Am I correct? Here's something blue.
Here we are. Ladies and gentlemen, coffee breakers, let's welcome the man who is trying to change Manila one step at a time, Mr. Carlos Celdran.
Who am I clapping for myself?
So happy to have you.
We are so happy to have you.
I love that you're doing. We don't need like a mic or anything like that, right?
si Carlo.
Okay,
Hagathon.
Dito parang medyo creepy. Natalikod.
Okay, so as Bianca was saying earlier about the Tito Soto tweet.
Yeah. So you tweeted that.
I think it's a fake Tito Soto. I also thought it was a real Tito Soto until I looked at the tweets. And the tweets were far too witty and far too original. It was way too original. It was a dead giveaway. It's like, wait, this is original thought. This can't be it.
Okay, but if you
so
ha-
many people retweeted that tweet, as all your other statements.
Yeah.
And your tweet about me going to jail is still the #1 highest retweeted of me. It's like five, and you have like 2 million followers. How the hell does that
I don't
happen?
even know. I was surprised one day to wake up.
What was your tweet?
The hashtag free Carlos Celdran was like
500 times. It's still the #1 top. I think it's up to 600 now.
That
You're
was
2 million
yours?
people.
Hashtag
What's
free
2 million
I just
people?
copied, Yeah.
Metro
just
Cebu is 2 million
copied.
people.
Wow.
Davao is less than 2 million people. Baguio is 1.2 million people. You have 2 Baguios. You are the population of Iceland, is your Twitter follower, I think.
Baguio.
Baguio, Iceland. 1, Baguio 2.
Now, if you had a chance to tweet anybody in Philippine history, what would you say and who would it be?
Wow, who would be the most? Okay, the most emo tweets would probably be from Josephine Bracken.
Yes, for sure.
Don't you think that she'd have the most emo sort of like girl rock? Like it's just be all Alanis Morissette. Like,
Yeah.
You wanna know lyrics.
You live, you learn.
Or like or like Lisa Loeb, like over and over and over, like you say. I'd like to tweet Bonifacio and ask, or have a seance for Bonifacio. Just ask, where are you? Like what happened to you? Where's your body? What happened? And who would probably be the best, the most? I think the funniest tweets would probably come from President Quezon.
Why?
Yeah, because this guy is a fiery ass Konya kid who doesn't edit himself. I mean, I just think like Teddy Boy looks in Junior like times 1,000. Right?
Wow.
That would probably be Manuel Quezon, right? I'm sure it'd be full of like, oye, coño, puñeta, right? Sinvergüenza, you know.
Google Translate. Say.
Without shame. I joke lang.
Right? We can say bad words in the show, right? Sinvergüenza.
Yeah.
Sinvergüenza.
Especially because we don't know.
Oh my, I know it.
Shameless.
I just translated it. I was trying to brag without shame.
Akala ko bumubulong-bulong ka dyan.
Yun pala yun!
Thanks, Lynn.
Okay, so to prepare for this episode, we asked people to send in their questions about Philippine history.
Okay.
But not the usual. It's more of the things you didn't quite understand in history class or conspiracy theories that you want to confirm or deny.
Confirm or confirmed.
Very
Okay.
the buzz Philippine history edition.
Confirmed or denied. Okay.
Yes,
Shoot.
and it was actually the question was ask questions that you were afraid to ask back in school.
Everything you want to know about Philippine history,
Yes.
but too afraid to ask.
Exactly. Okay, so let's start. From Richmond Pancho. I remember my lola telling me that the foot soldiers during the Japanese occupation were actually Korean conscripts. I'd like to know if this was the case.
Yes, there were actually Korean conscripts that were part of the Japanese army that was in the Philippines, but a lot of people use that as the excuse of why the massacre was happening. But actually, the massacre happened because of a directive given by the Japanese occupation or by the Japanese armed forces. So when people say that they're Japanese, they were Korean. Doesn't matter if they're Korean or not.
It's
They were
still
ordered to
Japanese.
kill by the Japanese, so the flame should still firmly fall on the Japanese.
Okay. From Paulo Casas, how tall was Lapu-Lapu?
How tall? Okay, but that's almost impossible to say. Because, the last time I saw his photo, I think I saw a photo of him online. Let's conjecture. Okay, so we're talking about 16th century Philippines or 15th century Philippines, of which our diet was basically fish. We had probably no rice because there was no there's no agriculture just yet, just slash and burn. So he basically subsists on a fish and yam diet. He was probably dead by the time that he was 32 by something. So I'd say he was short. I'd put the average of probably below 5 feet.
I would say more
Jose
than
Rizal was
5.
5 feet.
Yeah.
And that's already the 19th century. They already had a better diet.
And he came from a well-off family that could feed him better
That could
food
feed him
than-
better food, but yet still consider the kind of food that you ate, the sort of vitamins that you get at that time, the diseases going around.
Right.
You're looking at a guy who was probably below 5 feet.
Okay.
Wild.
But considering the physical activity of Rizal and Lapu-Lapu, hindi ba parang mas gumagalaw naman si Lapu-Lapu?
So, nasa stretch.
I'm not saying he was, if he was less than 5 feet, but he was buff.
Yeah. Iba naman yung
Yun
batak
yung
sa
sasabihin ko eh. If he was less than 5 feet and the sword is like that's like half his size. You know.
Yeah, it probably- have you
That
seen the
voice of
balanghay? The Filipino balanghay? There's like 100 people on that boat, and you look at
it's
the
like
boat like,
tiny.
how can 100 people fit on with the pig spa and
Yeah,
whatever?
true.
And then you realize that everybody was the size of pygmies. So
Okay.
See, so tell me. Let's pick you.
we're already short, and this is the 21st century.
Right.
What would we have looked like in the 19th?
My guess is 4'10". Whoa.
Yeah, you'd probably be. I would say 4'10". I would probably be
Buff na
4'11". You know. We probably would have had chronic BO. We probably had no teeth already because we rotted our teeth by the time that we were 18.
Yes.
Um,
Wala
no,
bang orthodontist na?
there's no eyebrow
Orthodent.
plucking. No eyebrows. So all of the girls had crazy eyebrows. Crazy eyebrows. Furry under there. Somebody fired the gardener for sure. Yeah, I don't think it was a pretty scene. Maria Clara probably wasn't as pretty as you thought. Because also the tastes considering back then, the time Maria Clara, fat was where it was at, which is actually kind of a good thing, I guess. You know? So she was probably a big, hairy girl.
Meteor.
A big, meaty,
Voluptuous.
voluptuous pale girl.
Petite.
Yeah, petite with sort of nappy hair. There was no hair.
Unibrow.
Walang relaxant back then.
Walang hot oil.
Walang hot oil.
Walang keratin,
Walang
keratin.
cellophane, keratin, whatever. You all had bad hair.
Okay. I wouldn't want to live with that.
Things
Okay.
to reflect upon and to make you happy about living where you are today.
Yes.
Okay, so this was actually one of Bianca's tweets earlier. Can Yamashita's gold actually possibly exist? If yes, what are the plausible theories surrounding its location? This is from Krishna.
Okay, so it's the Yamashita treasure. There's anything probably the photographs have probably proven that it did exist in one clear room or in one clear area at that time, somewhere in the Philippines or somewhere probably even in Asia. My theory is, of all the things that was going on, it's completely unfounded. The United States took it right after the war.
Why is this your...
Because who was the first to know where everything was? Who's the first who probably found out we're all, who had first dibs on everything? So after the war, whatever U.S. Army, whatever U.S. soldier, whatever U.S. corporal took it out of the country quietly right after World War II. And then after that, just put everybody on some sort of weird chase as I think a way to cover up any corrupt movements that were happening over there. Like for example, Ferdinand Marcos saying, "Oh, I found Yamashita's treasure," when in reality, "Oh, I got a kickback from a military contract." The more confusion that you make, the less trail that leaves behind. When it can simply just be explained, it is probably in Fort Knox in the U.S. Treasury as we speak.
Oh man. That's totally like national treasure.
It could be,
In
but
real
if
life.
and
The movie.
we probably wouldn't have the right to keep it considering national patrimony and everything. So which is probably one of the reasons why the U.S. government probably is not even talking about it and sending people on wild chases as much as possible. Right? That's only my theory. Right?
Just to clarify.
Just to clarify, this is my conjecture to explain the entire mess that you hear.
Okay.
Next.
Question is from Joseph TC. Is it true that only one of Rizal's firing squad members had a loaded gun so they would not feel guilty for killing Rizal?
Only one
Yes.
had no bullet, or only one guy had a bullet. Only one got a bullet.
Yeah. So others would
There
feel
are
guilty.
obviously more bullets found inside Rizal when they got his body. So I don't think that is possible. But it makes makes a great urban myth.
Yeah.
Yes.
And in the Philippines, always we will choose what is more interesting. Why ruin? I read this today on very good Twitter. Why ruin a good headline with the truth?
I like that.
Why ruin a good headline? But it's such a wonderful headline. Why are we going to ruin it with something called something as malleable as the truth?
Okay, I like this question. Leia Karunungan. Are there gays in the Katipunan?
I don't think they were calling themselves gays.
Because they had an identity crisis.
Because they found an identity crisis. I'm sure, man, there were guys that were having same-sex attraction to one another, but they weren't calling themselves gay. Right? I mean, if you look at some of these sort of pictures, like if you look at all these old postcards that people write to one another, even the way that Blumentritt
Yes,
Road to Rizal. It is like-
lover.
it's like, what's this rice queen papa thing going on here?
Yeah.
It's like, I miss you terribly, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah. I feel incomplete. I'm like, what?
And is it true that they never actually met?
I don't know. I don't know if they actually never met. No, they did, man. Because
They did?
yeah, they did. So may longing. But you have to remember that this is the way that we're treating the mindset of attraction today. The word gay probably didn't even exist until the 1950s, 1960s, and probably even then, it wasn't used in a sort of colloquial term that we all use
Because
today.
its original meaning is happy.
Its original meaning is happy, right? So yeah, there were probably guys getting it on with one another in the
Yeah.
forests back then, but they probably just considered it to be just like, a guy thing.
Right.
Yeah. Rather than
part of a lifestyle.
Okay.
Well, they were exchanging blood already. Might as well exchange other bodies.
Right? How homoerotic is that?
Wow!
How homoerotic? What's more homoerotic than like blood? Right.
Just
Okay.
So I guess safely said, there probably was.
Okay, Cariz Dumaraos. Is it true na Ninoy is not as pure as we promote him to be? Totoo ba na stage lang yung conflict between Ninoy Aquino and Marcos kasi brothers sila sa frat?
Okay. Well, now being pure is fun, we can just go down to the legacies, like just to show just how much there is no such thing as a bad reputation in the Philippines, and we are the land of the comeback king.
That is true.
The father of Ninoy Aquino was the vice president of the Japanese occupation. So as we were getting screwed by the Japanese, the man who was overseeing it all was Ninoy Aquino's father. So, having said that, the Aquino family cannot say that they have been lily white from day one,
Right,
because
okay.
they are collaborators with the Japanese. And then the father died during like some boxing match, even before that he could be absolved or acquitted of his collaboration crimes. They say that Ninoy Aquino is also a communist, and that's the reason why he was the only person who wasn't there during the bombing of Plaza Miranda. All the Liberal Party was there. Who's the only person missing? Ninoy Aquino. Okay. And him and Marcos definitely were frat brothers. They definitely had a bond, but I don't think that it was staged. But there was definitely a connection with them, and I think they were very open with their relationship with one another as being sparring partners, so to speak, and they had great respect for each other's mind. But I wouldn't say that it was staged for the benefit of the public. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, no, the Aquinos are not lily white, and let that be clear.
Mother of Pearl.
Hey Carlo Corsiga. Sino ba talaga ang first PH president?
First Philippine president is Aguinaldo.
Aguinaldo.
Aguinaldo could be some people say it was Bonifacio, but then they killed him off. Aguinaldo. The first real sort of like voted as a
Right.
president by the public.
Declared
Would be Quezon, because that was the first time a real. Remember, he was a president, Aguinaldo, but he was not held by an election.
It was just sila-sila lang.
It was just sila. So it was kind of like he was prime minister of the Philippines because it was the ruling parties. So the real president voted by the people, Quezon.
In that context.
In that context.
Okay.
I'm not an Aguinaldo fan, so.
Okay.
Yeah, no, neither my Bonifacio fan. I'm totally Rizal all the way. I'm so burgis eh.
I love it.
Right? He traveled the world. He was guapo. He lived in France. He can write a book. He was a poet.
Speak 12
He
languages.
could speak 12 languages. He dressed well. Come on, how could you not be Rizal, right?
Exactly.
And he was an artist. No, continue. I've seen his drawings and his sculptures, and I'm just like,
That's right.
I would totally date him.
Ano, and if you write Nolly, parang, yeah.
Right?
Yeah. So,
Ikot bra.
tas ophthalmologist. Ay.
Right? But you know, the poor Josephine Bracken, right? The poor, suffering emo girl who was not getting as much attention as she wanted from Jose Rizal, who was just too engrossed in himself.
Okay.
Like Hamlet.
Hamlet.
Like Ophelia and Hamlet.
That's a depressing story.
He was
Everyone
crazy
just
and obsessed with
died.
himself, and then she was just sort of like driven insane by his lack of attention.
Yeah.
That sounds Bracken.
Was she the greatest love of Rizal? But they're saying that he
Suppose the greatest love was his first
the first girl.
The first girlfriend. But I don't know. I think Jose Rizal's first love was Jose Rizal. Narcissistic tendency. Any great person, I would have to safely say,
Would have to be.
has a modicum of narcissism in them. Even somebody as selfless as you would think as Mother Teresa She was a narcissist.
Ganda nung nasabi ko kanina. Okay yun. Sulat ko yun yung gano'n. Pagkatapos mong sabihin.
She was a self-centered bitch. Yeah.
Let's all take selfies.
You heard me, Sisters of Charity. She was a self-centered bitch.
Okay, here. At Maiku Labadia, who were the masterminds of Andres Bonifacio's assassination?
Ginaldo. Just kidding.
Agnano. Where was head of the other? Remember there's a magdiwang and magchuchu, magdalo, whatever, right? Those two guys. They would plausibly fall under Aguinaldo. Yeah.
And Antonio Luna also.
All of them, they all didn't like because he was kind of a troublemaker. He was a hot-headed troublemaker. And I think really if I remember reading correctly, they were just so sick and tired of him making contrabulate. Everything, yeah, contrabulate everything. And he would apparently interrupt meetings and stuff, and he was a drunkard. And so you can imagine what a horrible combination that would be, right? Plus, he wasn't as social as everybody else.
Right.
So you can really see where this sort of like them versus us, the sort of him being kind of a kibitzer, an infiltrator, parvenu social climber, would irritate everybody.
Yeah.
And then just one day, they just decided to take him out for a long walk on a very short pier.
Bye.
Bye.
Last question.
See ya.
At Yenyang919, how true that Apolinario Mabini's paralysis wasn't due to polio but an STD instead?
I would not. Okay, that one I don't know. That one I don't know. But you know, for the sake of the guy, wait, no, because Apolinario Mabini wasn't a very. Okay, this could be two ways. He was a very conservative guy. Apolinario was actually kind of a writer that would go into magazines and talk about sort of upholding your virtue.
But he might be repressed.
And he was against like dancing, and he was against like loud music, and he was like kind of your modern day version of who'd be like a total square, like who's like like even worse than a Tito Soto. Oh my god, he's like a bishop from. He was that square.
Okay.
He was that square. So it's either the STD could be a result of him being traumatized by the STD and sort of going the other way and super conservative, or it could be completely untrue because he would never find himself in a situation like that. So all of these stories we're talking about, nothing has been proven, but these are just my conjectures of the possibilities of what these answers could be.
Awesome. I love that you use conjecture in an ordinary sentence.
More than one.
I'm conjecting. $10 words. $10 words.
Ako maglabas ng dictionary kanina pa pero hindi mo catch up.
Wait, let me ask the one about you. Like, when did your love for history start?
Yeah.
Was it
Has
in
it always
school?
been there?
And was it like one professor na parang opened your mind? And like,
No. This is like regular cable, right? I think it was just my days of being in art school and getting stoned in UP Fine Arts. Going into the motos, completely fired off my ass. And then, and really discovering it by hand. And then later on, as I got older, it wasn't in high school. It wasn't even past college because I was already about to give up on the Philippines and live in New York City. I guess going on as I went along with the Heritage Conservation Society, a group that I was working in, the history made sense of what I was about. Like every time I'd read about something, I was like, okay, that's why we live in Dasmariñas village, because most of the cities were destroyed in 1945. That's why everything's in Makati, because Escolta was over, blah, 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 blah. The more that I understood history, the more I understood the way the city was built, and the more I understood how the city informed who I became. So that's how I got into it, way after college.
Okay.
And I think that's the best time for people to get. I think we're taught history way too young. I mean, you find this really interesting now.
Right.
yes.
When's the last time we learned about it? Grade 6.
Right.
In grade 6, nothing happens. You're just jahe about pimples and you're afraid of your mens. And you're afraid of everything is just...
Why is there hair?
Yeah, like, oh my god, baho. Oh my god, oh my god. Everything just makes you jahe, right? And that's the first thing in your mind more than history.
Right, and at that time, the way they teach it to you is who, what, where, when, why.
Memorize.
Not
Yeah.
how.
Very
Yeah.
But it's the how or why that's important. It's not the name, the date.
The day.
Or they don't really connect it to modern, or
That's
like to your
true.
daily.
Yeah, it's not
to you.
contextualized.
To you,
Yes.
right.
It's not contextualized. It's always black and white. America, good. Spain, bad. Japanese,
Worse.
bad. Muslim, bad. Catholic, good. I mean, it's, it's just too divisive and it's black and white. I think it really should be, something should happen in the educational system when they teach Philippine history at an age where we're already analytical. Like third year high school or fourth year high school. But not grade 6.
Yeah, and less focus on memorizing the dates.
Yeah,
but
grade 6
actually
should be
relevance.
should be giving you lessons probably in yourself on like how to be secure with yourself, how to be secure in your body. Because I just remember hated being grade 6. Right? You're in classes, everybody's I was bullied.
Where did you study?
Colegio San Agustin.
Oh, CSA.
Yeah,
That's
CSA. The showbiz school.
You were bullied, sorry. You were bullied in grade school.
Yeah, I was bullied by the frats, like mga Taugama and like, RSG.
And now you can be
Grade
like,
six, grade
I'm the
seven.
shit. Diba? You can say to them, I'm the shit.
Oh, yeah, well, yeah. I'm still waiting for that moment to
Tell
come.
them now, Carlo.
By the time I get there, my time will probably be really bad. It's like, oh, you suck now. Right? And I don't suck. And it'll just be so lame, and I'm sure I'll be embarrassed about the whole moment.
Okay, before we move on to the game, I just want to ask, what is the true value of studying history? I remember when I was in college, I took a class, Kasaysayan 1, Class 1, and my teacher asked us that question, and she said, people say it's because we don't want to repeat history because we want to learn from history. But look at Philippine history. We haven't learned at all. So what then for you is the value? And
Even
I couldn't
for something
answer
like
it.
around 6 years ago, right? Or like then like, Arab. I guess it's back, Arab.
Exactly.
Within our generation, like within our, we're not even talking about like 3 generations away, like the Marcos says. We're talking within like, between the space one and the cell phone was invented until now, right?
But at least that even had a gap. Gloria Macapagal-Arroyo was like,
grabe.
after
Walang
president, I'm gonna be congresswoman. wala man lang, hindi huminga.
Walang kurap-kurap.
Oo.
Yeah. Well, more than repeating the thing, I think it's important for us to learn history because it teaches you what to be proud about yourself. Because when you're devoid of the achievements of your nation, you're left with no defenses. And that's one of the reasons why it's so easy to pick on the Filipino and make us feel bad. And jahe and gates of hell and like everything about us is so terrible. Because we don't know the good things that we did to make bad pambatok in their face.
That's
Right?
nice, yeah.
If you knew just how great like our artists were, our architecture is, our music, if you just became these self-centered, narcissistic, so
Mother Teresa.
believe in yourself, people like the French, right? We'd be
Or
able
the
to-
English.
Or the English. When you're so into yourself and you're into your culture, you have a way to defend yourself and promote that culture abroad. But as long as we remain devoid of our own history, we will be just always floating. And that's why it's so easy for us to go abroad and forget coming home and, allowing people to talk badly about us.
Yeah.
I was kind of glad about the Dan Brown with the fact that we stood up for ourselves. But there's a fine line between standing up in yourself and being butthurt.
Yeah.
We fall into butthurt category just a little bit too much.
I like what you said in an episode of with Good Times with Mo. You said we react that way because we're insecure.
Yeah, and
love
that's
that.
basically it, right? I mean, who understood our history, or at least who understood our cultural history the most? Imelda. And look how delusional she is. She thinks everything in the world is pink roses and unicorns. And that has a lot to do with her understanding herself and the context that created her. As far as she's concerned, the Philippines is the most beautiful place in the world, and she's the most beautiful woman in it. And I would like to live in a world that magical.
Did she watch your show? Did she watch your show?
No, she didn't watch my show, but the daughter, I'm sure some of you know her, Amy. Yeah, we all love Amy.
Yeah.
Amy watched the show.
And what did she say?
And she said, it was funny. Oh my god, it was so funny. And you know the part about my mom with the crown? It's true.
I don't know why we're laughing.
Now, the Marcoses have a sense of humor. If there's anything, I'll give them that to laugh at themselves.
Yeah, that's
very
true.
I'll give them that. They know their position in history.
I guess maybe for me, more the question is more of have we really learned our history? because you were asking what's
the
true
value?
Yeah. I think that if we really learn, we would know what the value is.
Yeah. And it works for every country. But the thing is, you have to teach. You can't force it. The Filipino will not change. The Filipino, you have to make the Filipino change. You have to make him want to change.
Correct.
We've already tried martial law. We've tried putting it in schools, making a legal directive to love, like just short of making a legal directive to love your country. But you have to make it come from within. You have to make the Pinoy feel like there is hope and there's stuff like that.
Maybe that's your kasi we were talking about the persona non gratas. I to go for Dan Brown and Justin Bieber. Baka dapat ganon yung directive. Instead of making persona non grata all these people, direct all your people to love your country.
Yeah, and let's accentuate. We'll accentuate the positive and minimize the negative.
Okay.
Because the negative we know, come on, we know the negative already.
You make us all proud to be Filipino.
I know, like I want to stand up and sing the national anthem. Kanina pa.
Carlos walked in.
Bianca, gusto mo lang kumanta ulit.
Which is really funny because most people think I look like the colonizer, right? Like everybody calls me Damaso. Like I'm going down the street, the little kids, the taxi driver, Damaso! And I'm like, wait, no, that's the bad guy. That's the bad guy. That's like going fighting up for the Jews and somebody says, Hitler!
Yeah.
It's like, no. Mali. Context.
Okay, so we prepared a game for you.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Okay, Lynn, can you explain the criteria? And the mechanics.
Alright.
Criteria.
So we're gonna play Paint Me a Portrait. I'm not sure if you know that game. So we'll pick a word, and the theme is memorable events in Philippine history.
Okay.
And we're gonna paint you a portrait. So we're gonna make a picture using our bodies.
Wow.
That's gonna be seen on live. That's gonna be seen on the screen. Okay,
Yeah.
that is very interesting.
And you're gonna have to guess.
It's you versus NMF,
yeah.
as always.
Okay.
We're all
Yes, so all
actors.
four of us. So we're gonna act
So
for
parang
you.
like a mix between
Pantomime na.
parang like charades and what's that, Twister?
Sort of.
Yeah.
So it's like Twister slash charade.
Okay,
Great
okay.
mix.
Ready?
Wait,
Okay.
Patent that mabenta
how do we
yun.
fit?
Where
Oh,
do
we'll
you
put
guys
here.
stand here?
Okay.
There.
Okay, so Carlos will go first, I guess.
No, diba he's
No. Take
You
one.
both gonna guess. Okay,
Yeah,
so
you're both gonna
theme
guess
is
for
famous events in Philippine history.
Oh my god. Okay.
Okay.
Madali lang to.
Madali lang yan.
Kasi naman, okay. Sino
Ako na.
Ikaw.
Ay, ang layo. Ako na.
Walang words, no?
Ready?
Yeah, okay.
Okay,
Ready.
This is kayo NMF versus Carlos.
Okay.
3. Ay, hindi kayo kita, guys.
Ayan.
Okay.
Yeah.
3.
Wait, hindi kasi din. Okay. Diagonal. Wow, waiting. Okay. Ay, wala ako. Ayan.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, go.
Jose Rizal. Oh, sorry. Very good. What the Jose Rizal? The execution of Rizal. The execution of Jose Rizal.
Okay,
Okay.
what?
Oh my
Okay,
gosh,
okay.
it's
Medyo
so
mahirap to.
hard.
Ay, hindi. Okay.
Okay, we don't fit in the camera.
Okay, dito.
Hindi naman lang dire-diretso pala kayo.
Yeah.
That was a good one, I have to say. The first one's a very good one.
Okay, ready?
Okay, hindi siya kailangan super literary,
Okay.
Ready, set, go.
Death March. You can see better at that angle. I have to move up to the angle. Let me move up to a better angle.
Okay.
Here we go.
Okay, ano pa? How many minutes do we have
Carlos
left?
1 and then 1.
1-1.
Spolario.
Ang hirap na.
Meron siyang bodyguard.
Okay.
So, sino ako na naman?
Oh, ikaw na naman. Okay.
Wait, ikaw yung...
Yung? Wala naman yung no. Diba? Okay, ikaw na lang.
Sige, proud na lang.
Okay.
Di ba nandito tayo?
Assassination Pinocchio.
Kailangan yung
Oh, getting
The sequel give it away. The sequel pick like the sequel give it away.
So, Carlos 2, NMF 1. This is
So
It's really
bad.
bad. Okay.
Madali lang. Okay.
Ano? Uy, nakahit nakaupo. Shiny.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
One.
Next one lang. 1,
2, 3, go. Ang dami.
The pact of Kalachao. The blood, the Katipunan blood pact.
So who won?
Pagod na kami.
Yeah, 3, 1.
Who won? Me?
Okay, Carlos won.
Me to one.
We're tired na.
China.
Yun talaga yun.
Yay! Oh, NMF lost again.
Awesomeness. Okay.
It's a terrible game. Sorry.
That was awesome. You should actually patent that. Because I already imagine, because you can go the international edition, already like, crossing of the Delaware, the flag of Iwo Jima,
Hindi na namin alam yun.
I think we're
the
just really
explosion,
bad
the
actors.
explosion of the Challenger.
Yeah, that's not really the game. Kasama.
Mag-google muna kami. Bago naman yan.
Sayang meron akong bombing of Pearl Harbor.
That's so hard.
That would have been fun. What are the other words? Let's just
Blood
check.
compact.
EDSA 1. Okay, meron kang EDSA 2.
Pagpunin ka na
I would have done EDSA 1. Kapit pisig and then bayan ko. Okay.
It's a 2.
Pag-EDSA 3.
Some is really short.
Pag it's a presented.
Ako. Solemnly swear.
May luluhod.
Yeah, Cedula is easy.
Alright. Thank you, Carlos, for joining us today.
Oh, thanks,
We really
guys.
appreciate it. The whole time we
them to your tours.
as if you
Log on to
more.
carlosceldran.com if you want to come to one of my tours.
How many shows? How many tours do you do a week?
Now that I've hit 40, I do it only 4 times a week. But now I used to do it 8 times a week. Twice a day.
That is.
Wait, I heard really sad. Can I just confirm, since is this the buzz? Parang
Oh.
you're slowly like you want to train new.
I'm training you
people
guys to
and
do it, and I'm trying to also turn. I'm sure you guys have seen the Imelda show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to turn them into theater performances and out of Intramuros already.
I should totally
Yeah,
audition.
because the Intramuros tour will be fun because I'm gonna be. The Imelda tour will be fun to audition for because sorry, the Intramuros tour will be fun to audition for because it's still in development.
Okay, so let me know when their audition.
Wow! Tag-on-air edition.
Thank you for joining.
Kung yun yung kung yun yung
Ikaw
audition.
Who would you like to be? Let's see. Who do you
Josephine Brown.
Gabriela, what's her face? What's her name?
Silang.
She's a nice one. Who would you choose among Philippine like historical images? Who would like each of yours be the ideal one? Obviously not Mina Clara because she was just like this stupid bitch. She was equivalent like Kim Kardashian of like.
Yeah.
You know.
That's true.
That's a hard question.
What was her purpose aside from being pretty? Like what was her
She's
purpose?
like Helen of Troy, ganon.
Yeah, ganda mo te.
Inspiration and
Oh,
views.
ganda mo te. Yun lang.
You should definitely guest again. I think we need to dedicate an entire episode on that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thanks guys.
Thank
Final
you.
hugs. Final hugs.
Thank you.
Thank you. Like Shelly
you.
said earlier that it makes us so proud. Yeah, on behalf of the Filipino people. Thank you because
Thank
yeah,
you.
you're like a gem.
Oh, yeah. Well,
You are.
show. Show.
Okay,
guys.
thank you, Carlos, and see you next week.
Thank you,
Bye. Thank you for joining us.
Follow him on Twitter at Carlos Celdran.
Thank you, Beyond the Box.
Thank you, NMF.